And it's time to understand that. You know, we had Federal Reserve request YouTube remove a video critical of them 2 weeks ago. And YouTube told us, we showed the letter on air, they said, if you don't remove it, we're just going to go to our review board. We may just get rid of your channel altogether. That's reached 150 million people. Again, that's just one small part of what we do, but it's a good part of it. You know, in fact, I've done the analysis. This is our full audience we're reaching per week right now. About 10, 15%, maybe even 20 is YouTube. I mean, that is where we're reaching young people, new people. That's where we're having this effect. Here, just analyzing media clips, covering things. And I've put YouTube on notice. Google. People start ordering our stuff taken down, we're going to have to take action. Because it will then draw attention to the fact that Walter Cronkite could show a kid with their skin burned off in Vietnam, but you say it's profane or wrong when we show it today. Could you show something at 5 o'clock in 1968, 1970 that you can't show today? Why is that? Because they don't want you to see the truth. It's not that they're protecting you from something obscene. They don't want you to see what's happening because they know your conscience and your soul would say it was wrong. Just like YouTube's removing videos of people getting shot in the face with rubber bullets. Not because some blood is profane, but because they don't want you to see what's happening, and I've had enough of it. They said don't show the coffins, the flag-draped coffins, because of disrespect to the families coming off the airplanes. The family said, we want it seen. It has nothing to do with respect for the families or a coffin's too shocking. With all this death and destruction, they show you the death and destruction to condition you to accept it. All the simulated death and destruction, but the real thing, you're not supposed to see it because there's nothing like the real thing. And perhaps this will be banned online, not just at YouTube. It's happening everywhere. Perhaps you're not supposed to see this. It turns out that public interest groups, we have all these listed at Infowars.com, have done the same studies they've done for decades and found the same thing. Hazardous heavy metals contaminate most Halloween makeup tests, and it goes over it. 1 in 2, or 52%, of Halloween makeup tested contain detectable levels of cadmium. 100% of the products contained chromium. Other metals detected included, and it goes over it, arsenic, mercury, and lead. And you know that's not good, and because most of this stuff's coming from China. Most of our drugs over the counter are made in China. And when it came out that melamine was in most of the formula and killing kids, our government just waved a magic wand and said melamine's good for kids. It's okay for kids. But China executed the heads of the companies that were doing it. But our government just said, no, keep shipping it in. Hell, melamine for kids, what's wrong with that? So there is your report on that front. But don't worry, the Centers for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, the EPA, they are going to protect us, aren't they? You know, what is it that every day or two I read about TSA workers, FBI agents, CDC people caught reportedly involved and later convicted in bestiality, child porn, kidnapping kids, Homeland Security chiefs getting off planes, wanting to have sex with 2-year-old kids? I mean, I see this stuff every few days. And I ask myself, is this the government setting people up who were exposing corruption? Or is this the type of people they've got and just one side doesn't know, one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing and bust them? I don't know. I'm sure it's a mix of both. But I'll tell you this, the TSA person that groped me a few days ago, and I haven't even aired this audio yet because I've been so busy, was clearly enjoying putting their hands on me, was clearly making noises at the ends of their words, like, yes, and because, I mean, who else would want this job? And it really is a nightmare. And here's the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Marcola.com, Dr. Marcola breaks this down. He has links to all the proof. CDC Director arrested for child molestation and bestiality. Dr. Kimberly Quinlan Lindsay was the top official pushing the swine flu hoax and telling everybody they were basically going to die if they didn't take it. And, of course, it came out in Canadian studies. It doubled your chances of getting regular flu and didn't protect you. But, I mean, look at her image, though. Put her back up there. I mean, it's always they dig up dead bodies at some person's house. And they're like, he was such a nice man or such a nice lady. It's hard to believe it. Go to the next one. There's a shot of her in a little doctor outfit. It is hard to believe that she did all this. Did she find out there were cancer viruses in it that's now come out? Did she find out that they, the year before, had injected this very swine flu in the regular flu shots as a, quote, simulant to track the flu, which is really a covered implant? I mean, again, I don't just sit here and immediately say, well, they claim she's raping possums and, doing all this. She must be this evil person. I don't know. I mean, put her image back up there. I've got a good gut. And I mean, my gut's never wrong. And just looking at that photo, I smell a big rat. You know what? I don't really believe that all these Homeland Security people, because, I mean, I'm seeing it every 2-3 days now. And CDC people are raping possums or whatever they're accused of and doing all this. I think they're being set up. Because this is the new witch burning thing. You accuse somebody of this, well, it must be true. More and more. Because I see DynCorp Halliburton involved in real child kidnapping, real trafficking, comes out Chicago Tribune, Houston Chronicle, nobody gets in trouble. But then this lady, I mean, who's going to believe she's innocent? It's like saying, I hear you're, murdering small children. It's like, when'd you stop beating your wife? Bestiality, now they're going to add that on? I mean, maybe she was supposedly sucking the brains out of small children. Maybe she's a zombie. I mean, guys, looking at her. Do you think this lady's involved in bestiality? Because, look, I've studied criminology. If it was a man, automatically it'd be about 500% more likely. A man's 5 times, in most actuaries, more likely. I'm not saying men are bad, but men are more wild and more out of control. And with psychosis, it gets more out of control. She was arrested with her boyfriend who was at the CDC as well. Well, I know there's some really twisted cults. Yeah, there he is. He kind of looks a little pervish. We have the newscast. I can't even look at these people anymore. I don't know, but though in her photo in the mugshot, she doesn't look like she's too concerned. I just can't. What the hell is going on with these people? I mean, people say the elites get sick of just regular stuff. I never get sick of fajitas or cheese enchiladas. I never get sick of, like, water skiing. I never get sick of my wife. I never get sick of just meat and potatoes, man. I mean, you read about people getting killed, having sex with horses and stuff. What? A horse? I mean, I'm not bashing gay people, but I don't get it. I mean, like, a guy looks like a monkey and stinks. Women look good. I mean, I just don't get all this behavior. But, hey, all right. I don't know. Jesus. Yeah, okay, talk about another piece of abomination. You got Fukushima station discharged more radiation than estimated. Bloomberg reports, we told you that day one. Independent groups went out and said radiation's off the chart when they were saying it wasn't high. Stuff blew over here in the EPA and Food and Drug Administration came out and said, we'll just raise the levels of what we say is safe. So I guess they must all be a bunch of psychotic bestiality people that are completely out of their minds and want to rape possums. I mean, I just don't get it. When I drive by at night and see a possum in my yard, I mean, I'm not attracted to it. I mean, I'm sorry. It looks disgusting. I want to shoot it with a shotgun. I don't want to have sex with it. So whatever. Okay, I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I'm not attracted to men. I'm not attracted to possums. Marilyn Monroe? Yeah. I mean, I can't get enough of it. I like women. Beautiful women. Not little crack whore, heroin chic women either. Just, fast cars, good-looking women, cheese enchiladas. I mean, we're there. I mean, it's... Doctors who inject their sons with HPV vaccines. Dude's trying to get me moving right along. Yeah, no. The whole vaccine myth is imploding, and the fact that the HPV vaccine doesn't protect you from the cancer it says it does, that's on the insert. But they run these TV pieces where they say anal cancer, stomach cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancer. You want to get rid of that? Take this shot. They're saying when caused by this virus, which is the rarest form of cancer in the U.S. 3,000 a year die or so with 310 million. You got a better chance of being struck by lightning twice, literally, than dying by this or a honeybee killing you. So they are running around and now saying, I didn't want this at first, but I studied it. I learned about throat cancer and things, and I gave it to my children. And you hear like cha-ching, 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 cash register noises going off in the background. So let's go ahead and go to a short clip of this guy as they're out there saying, not only girls, but the little evil boys, they're the ones giving them the HPV thing, which is warts. In fact, I've seen studies that when you actually have this virus, it way lowers all these other weird viruses that are causing cancer. That's what we've learned. And man, that's my own pet theory, and I've talked to doctors off record about it. Some of them lining up for the show, and they agree. Epidemiologists and others are looking at it as virologists. But you can pull this up. HPV infection lowers chances. Let's just randomly see if we can get it actually. HPV, or just say wart virus infection, HPV infection lowers chances of other major cancers. And what happens is when you actually naturally, I didn't need to have sex to catch this stuff. I had warts by the time I was about 10 from stepping on a nail, went all the way through my foot, got a wart all the way through my foot. By falling down in gravel, got warts on my elbows. That stuff's in the dirt, folks. And what happened is, I later learned it actually gave me immunity to all these other cancer viruses. Because that wart, most cancer, and what they learned in the 20s, is viral. And the Rockefellers said, hell, we'll take over cancer research, start and put it in all the vaccines, and we'll run all the cancer clinics and suck all the money out of everybody. But one reason they're doing this is they've learned that when you have HPV in you and a whole other class of these viruses, that it massively shields you from all the crap they're putting in the vaccines. So they're engaged in some stuff trying to get rid of your immunity with a shot because they want to knock that out. Did you find it where I was showing that you think so? You're reading over it. No, I mean, you can look this up. You can look this up. That when you've got this wart virus, there's like 3,000 of them. It's a whole class. That when you've got this wart virus, I mean, I got a wart right now growing right here. You know, it's like, what did Lord, which was the British Lord? He was an admiral. And he was talking about his wife, how much he loved. And he says, she loves me, warts and all. That's where that term comes from. That was Lord, wasn't Lord Acton. It wasn't the Duke of Wellington. Lord Nelson said, she loves me, warts and all. But I mean, you know, the point is you can pull up, I think you're looking at a propaganda page here. I saw a bunch of studies about when you have this virus, then all these other cancers can't get you, which is an immunity. If your body gets immune to one type of cancer virus, it starts learning how to recognize them. But now they inject the virus with an adjuvant accelerating its power, which is what they've learned this vaccine does, and does a bunch of other stuff.